And we are live. Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, so excited for tonight. So yes, apologies to viewers. We were delayed. It was going to happen last week, but it didn't happen last week. So it's happening this week. We're not playing the blame game. We don't do that. But yeah, it was. But no, it's all good. Very, very excited for the second part of our Halloween special, and it's spooky goings on. It affected some of you, I think, last week a little bit. Oh. Am I right in thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind gone.
Yeah, just stuff changing. It's creepy.
It was that point of like, I swear Sue said this. Like, am I just going crazy? Like,
yeah, my notes are a mess.
Yeah, I mean, my notes are always a mess.
Well, that's really good to hear, because I was actually kind of going for that unsettling vibe. So glad it worked.
Yep.
Good to hear. What do we think's going on with this station, this Psi station? Psi, was it Psi something?
Whatever it is, we need to kill it with fire.
Yeah,
I think we'll be asking Bosh to check us over some sort of like deranged brain virus or something, because or just check they're all seeing the same thing that keeps changing.
Yeah.
So
changing.
That's a theory that it's yourselves, not the station. Is that what you think it is?
Like, is my hair changing color, or are my ears changing? Like,
I mean, because
is ever happening to everyone?
I was blue last time. I've always been blue, except when I was green.
Well, none of you have changed.
Oh, good.
During
That
this
makes me feel better.
Well, that we know of, I guess.
Well, we're all affected with the same thing.
Yeah.
But nobody has changed. These people have always been the way that they present now.
Doesn't help that the tricorders are always saying that as well. You know, quick checking with the tricorder. There's no change. Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's like the Mandela effect. That's what it is.
The mandala effect. What's that?
Oh, is that not? Oh, it's like so it's based on like everyone thought that he had died, but then he actually died, and everyone was like, "Oh, we thought he died," and then it's a thing where a mass of people remember something wrongly because of
like Keith Floyd.
Maybe I don't know who that is.
I was thinking the old Walker's Crisp colours.
Oh yeah, like blue and green. Like it's always been the way it's always been, but like other packets do it the other way. So you think it changed, but it hadn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conspiracy theory.
I kind of feel that it's probably Alakar's fault.
Undoubtedly. Well, Alakar is in the chat with us tonight. So hello, Chris. Hello, Captain Quinn. Captain Quinn admiring my brilliant shirt. Thanks to Ed for this. I'm just like blown away by this. Well, I've been saying stone. It's not. It's stun.
Stun. Yeah.
It's Livingstone. So stun.
That's kind of a joke.
I'm starting to catch up. I'm halfway through season 2 of Discovery at the moment, so I'm starting to understand a little bit more of what was going on.
Oh, excellent season 2. Yeah, really good. I love Discovery. And Lower Decks, and
I mean my issues with it, which I mentioned at the very beginning, still stand. I was happy for a short term on one of them, but that seems to have reversed itself.
Okay, interesting. We'll have to do a discussion episode, maybe on the new channel, Hailing Frequencies, coming in
which we are on now.
No, we're not. Oh, we're probably hosting. I think it's hosting, but it's transmitting to Stooge Action.
Oh, so it is. Oh, okay. I thought I was watching Hailing Frequencies. No,
it all switches over officially in the new year, and and again, it's Ed who suggested Hailing Frequencies. So well done on that. We had some brilliant suggestions from everyone.
I think mine were better, but Ed's did win.
They got more votes.
It helps I voted for Matt's.
To be fair, I voted for Ed, so I can't really complain.
So it's all very creepy on this station. Do you remember why you're on this station in the first place?
Someone's eating Neil.
Neil?
I mean, not Neil Kelly from Aliens Explored podcast. Very worthwhile.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was like.
I was like, have you mentioned the Eelin game? I don't remember. I mean, there's a Derek and an Eric.
There's always been a Neil. Check your story notes. There's always been a Neil.
Yeah. Except it wasn't. Except it was Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There was a transmission. Something was eaten. Someone was eaten by something. But when we've got down there, we've met 2 people. We've been shown to one room, and then we just keep going round in a loop back to it. And they keep changing names and hair colours and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
I mean, you've certainly interacted with only 2 people, but there are other people sort of wandering about, and this is not an empty station. There are other people going about their tasks.
Apparently, he said there's something wrong with the comms array, but when Gomez had a look at it, there was nothing wrong with the comms array, and it had never transmitted a Code 1 distress call, the very Code 1 distress call that brought us here in the first place.
And the amount of people on the station, it keeps changing.
Only by 1.
Only by 1.
No, there has always been 34 people.
Of course.
It remains 35 people, and it hasn't changed from 34 people.
Why only 1?
That makes you wonder, doesn't it? You've sort of seen sort of people busying themselves, but yes, the station commander, Hubbard, as he's given his name, yes, he told you that the comms were down, and obviously as posing as Imperial soldiers, that's what you're there to fix. But yes, his assistant, however, Ensign Levy, told you that there's nothing wrong with the comms. In fact, said she's spoken to her sister just a couple of days ago.
Why do they keep going in a circle? What are they trying to hide?
Interesting.
We should be more suspicious.
Weren't we walking? We were going towards the head office area, and then kind of. I remember because I take a side step off and end up back into the room again.
You did. You decided to go through a random door, and yes, and came out of the comms room. No, you went. Yes, went into a random door, and into the comms room, which obviously was where you were going.
Playing havoc with my paper cutouts.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Map this one. Yeah. And yeah, as it was, you had just returned to the station commander's office. The station commander was before you. What do you remember about him at the end of the episode?
His name keeps changing, wasn't it? Chief Hubbard, and then a Chief Chainard somewhere, and the hair keeps changing. And
well, it was her hair kept changing. Isn't he? What didn't he change species? Wasn't he like human when we first met him, and he's now Tellarite or something?
He's always been Vulcan.
He's always been Vulcan.
Of course. It means he definitely wasn't when we got here.
He was 100% human when we got here.
Definitely a human. Yeah, a male and female human dressed non-militarily. But I bet he's got a uniform on now.
Well, let's... shall we watch the distress call again before we dive back into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, players, if you put yourself over onto StreamYards, as here we go with the distress call.
Oh God! Please help us! It's killing us all! It just got Johnson and wait, what's that? Who's there? No! No! No!
There we are, and thanks again to Neil for doing that video. Or should I say Steve?
Steve.
Yeah.
Always been Steve.
Buddy Steve. Benji.
So yeah, let's bring ourselves straight back in. You have indeed just turned up to the station commander's office, and yes, the commander who you've got to know, the Andorian commander, is there in front of you.
It's
not quite what you were expecting, was it? I would like Reggie and Bosh. Davok's going to be exempt to this, but I would like you to make either a control and command roll or a presence and con roll. This is difficulty 1. You have some momentum, just so you're aware. You have 4 points of momentum to my 6 points of threat.
I'm going for presence and con.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to spend some threat, and Davok, you need to make the same roll now. Control and command or presence and con.
Control and command.
Okay, control and command then, I think.
I'll go control and con.
No, that wasn't the option.
Presence and con or control and command.
Control and command then.
Oh,
Okay.
Reggie got
11.
You got nothing useful there. He did roll a 20 though.
I rolled 2 19s.
Ooh. Okay.
I, however, However,
Uh-huh.
my presence is 11, my con is 1. I got an 11 and a 4.
Right.
So I won both.
So you got 2 successes for Bosh. You don't gain any momentum from this, unfortunately. But Bosh, you're fine. It's all a bit strange, and to be honest, a lot of these non-Ferengis, they all look alike anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a bit strange. So gosh. So Davok, you got 1 failure, is that correct?
I got 2 19s.
2 failures, and Reggie was that was a 20, so that's 2 failures for you.
Isn't that 3?
I'm counting it as an extra failure, the critical fail. So both of you have a non-canon. This is a non-canon thing. You both have the unnerved trait,
Oh,
and you
yeah,
are
I'm not surprised.
unnerved 2, each of you.
Would, given that this is a non-canon trait, and you know what I'm like, given that I'm a Vulcan, wouldn't I have some sort of resistance to this?
You would, and that's why initially you wouldn't have rolled, except I spent the threat to get you to roll.
Good use of threat to GM.
So now what this means is all this is incredibly unsettling and disturbing, and it has now, because you are unnerved 2, any rolls that you make are now increased by difficulty 2. This includes difficulty 0 tasks. So a difficulty 0 becomes a difficulty 2, a difficulty 1 becomes a difficulty 3, and so on.
So we're going to have to add to spend momentum or burn threat, or burn momentum or add to threat to add extra dice to try and counter that out. Nasty.
You'll be glad to hear Sonia. She's looking shaken by this, but not stirred. Sonia succeeded. Right. So, what would you like to do?
Let's,
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit unnerved now.
let's torture them to that. Let's find out what they know. Let's see if they squeal.
I mean, I have no idea what's going on.
Is he commander?
Yeah. The
I think Davok's masquerading.
chief.
He's a chief. Chief, did we have? Do you have a facility where all of your staff could be congregated in one place?
Yes, the mess hall. We quite often use that for conferences and such like. It's a big enough space.
Would you be so kind as to gather everybody in there and take us there yourself?
I certainly try. I mean, some of the scientists are a bit odd, and they sort of keep themselves to themselves. They lock themselves away. I mean, some of them we haven't seen for.
This is
a
Empire
long
business.
time.
Empire business. Collect everybody.
Oh yes, okay. Well, we'll do our best. How long?
10 minutes.
Okay. How did you get on fixing the comms system, by the way?
It's going to take a little longer to repair than anticipated, but we can cover that in the briefing that everyone will have in 10 minutes.
Right. Yes, it has been down for a long time, so I imagine it's not easily sorted. And if you get a chance to look at the replicators as well, that's been producing some rather odd things.
What sort of odd things?
Oh, well, food that sort of smells a bit like nail polish, you know, that acidic sort of smell. You know, generally sort of producing things it's not been asked for, that sort of thing. You know what replicators are like.
So, are you going to lead us to the mess hall?
I thought you wanted me to round everybody up.
Yeah, I'll round them up, all right.
Yes, go ahead and then come and collect us.
Okay, then. He goes to sit at the console.
And what does he do?
He's tapping things away at a console.
As Reggie has a focus in stealth tactics, I don't know if this would help, but can I sort of can Reggie sort of surreptitiously see what he's up to?
Ooh. Let's have a look. I'm going to say yes. I just need to work out what you need to roll for that.
Also, just don't forget, I for his current visage, I have a focus in Andorians.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Why?
You went through me.
But that's no use for a benzite.
I haven't turned into one of them. I could do. I've got the paintful. Perhaps insight and security might be something.
I'm going to say daring. Daring and security.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because, I mean, you're not exactly in a... There's no cover, basically. So you're just going to sidle along and look over his shoulder and pretend you're not looking. So I think daring and security.
Okay.
This would be a difficulty 1, but of course it's a difficulty 3.
3, okay. I'll just
you're
buy
unnerved.
one extra dice with our momentum then.
Mm-hmm.
So we go down to 3.
You
So I'll
do
just
so.
throw it
Can I assist you by like coughing as a distraction?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, could.
So you want to assist? Yeah, you can assist by giving me a single dice roll. With daring and security, Davok. This again for you will be a difficulty 3.
Okay. Well.
Oh no, sorry. No, it
was
won't be a
saying,
difficulty
just
3.
Davok's just assisting us with one.
Yes,
one
it
dice.
would. Yes, it'd just be a single dice roll. Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine is a difficulty 6.
11. Oh, I got a 9, so that's a success from me.
Okay, so one success down.
I got a 13. Not much luck there. An 8. And a 4. And my security is 4. And I do have a focus in stealth tactics.
4 successes against a difficulty 3. Yeah, you have a look. He's working on a commerce panel and seems to be sending out a general order to all stations to indeed convene in the mess hall in 10 minutes time.
I sort of surreptitiously nod at Mr. Davok and Mr. Bosh, sort of like,
Okay.
he's kosher.
That's Christmas.
Okay, and Ensign Levy is there, of course, as well. What would you like to do for the next 10 minutes?
Have a ponder.
Steal my nerve for a bit, I think. Focus on something that doesn't keep changing like a bulkhead.
It's always been a door. What are you talking about?
Oh no, it's changed again.
That's just a fair point. Is there a map of the station? Like, can we check a view? Like, is there a view screen with it on?
You would have to access a computer to do that, which you can do. The mess hall's got general computer access.
We just don't know where it is at the moment.
No, waiting for him to show us where we are, or where we're going.
You can ask someone if you want. There are 2 people present you can ask.
They keep changing.
One of whom has been showing you around the station.
Yes.
But she's not done a very good job.
we keep ending
But there is that.
back here.
I actually, I'm kind of, Bosh, I'm going to step outside the door, not out too far into the corridor, but just enough that the door shuts behind me.
Where's he going?
Okay. Do you
And
want
then-
Ensign Levy to come with you?
No,
No. Okay.
no. And I want to, because we're carrying knives.
Yes. You
Oh,
are.
Is there-
I did write that down.
Yeah,
I've written, I've got a knife.
that's not a knife. So this is a knife. No, I want to find something that I can scratch into around the door.
Oh, I make a mark on it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there is. There's a wall, and it's paint. You know, these things are painted, so.
Yeah. So I want to just kind of scratch in. He was Benzonite last time I saw him, wasn't
Vulcan.
He's always been a Benzite, yes.
he? Benzite. So, but that was the last thing I saw. Went in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to scratch Benzite, and then what was she? The one that was leading us around?
What do you remember that she was?
The last thing I remember, she was human with red hair.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, human,
Red hat. Yeah.
red hair, and I just scratch that in and leave that there.
Out of curiosity, what do Reggie and Davok remember of Ensign Levy?
I don't.
I've got it written down with red hair, actually. Yeah, but I did note hair keeps changing. What WTF is going on here? Last notes from last time.
Yeah, she was dark haired, I think, when we came in. Then she was blonde, and then she was redheaded. That's the only reason that Bosh has actually realised something's going on, is that he's noticed that her hair keeps changing, because he's going to notice that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, all Q1s look alike, but she, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you scratch Benzite and human red hair into the wall. The writing is on the wall. It's going to take you a little while to do that. So while that's happening, what are Reggie and Davok doing?
I'd like to go around the room and put my ear to each corridor and just to see if there is a louder sound coming from any particular area.
Okay, I can tell you straight away, no, there isn't.
Okay. That's what
These things. You would also know that the construction is such that they're pretty well soundproofed. Standard sort of station. What it is. So Reggie and Davok are just waiting in there. Okay, and Bosh, yes, you finished scratching into the walls.
Okay, so I'm going to step back in. Into the room.
Okay, you get back in.
Have I gone into the main ops area, or?
You are in the station office.
Great.
That's what you were expecting, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Okay.
But there was also a possibility I might have ended up in the comms room.
Again.
We're never getting there.
Yeah. So I want to quietly walk over to Davok.
Mm.
Commander,
Mm.
things keep moving around. Outside the door, I've scratched in what I, at that point, remembered these two people that we've met, their races. if we have a look at them now, and then if you pop outside, knowing what you know, and see whether I've written something different.
We can do that.
So what are we in a room with a Benzite and a human?
No, why would you be?
I don't know. I just
Thought that might be the case.
what can we see?
Well, you can see Commander Hubbard there, the Bajoran, of course, and Ensign Levy, the Arcadian.
I'll go to where Bosh has pointed.
As Bosh
Corridor
Googles
outside.
Arcadians, they're very distinctive looking Arcadians, very big heads. I mean, you couldn't mistake Ensign Levy for anything else, really. Yes, you have a look, and indeed, it does say Bajoran and
Arcadian.
This is unsettling.
So it's the whole station that's changing.
It is.
Oh,
Davok. No, you're all right. Yeah. It is unsettling.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of that, Bosh?
Clearly, are things then changing if it's what I've
sorry,
written is the
Davok.
same?
Have you gone back through the door
Oh, yes,
and straight into the mess hall as you would expect?
what?
What? No, wait.
What? No. Is anyone else in here?
Yes, there's quite a lot of people, as you would expect. I mean, this is where the meeting's being arranged for.
Yes.
Have I moved to the mess hall as well, or am I still in the station office?
No, you're in the station office. You know that Davok left to go into the mess hall to see if everyone's there.
Where's Mr. Davok gone?
Does my communicator work?
Yes,
guys.
It does. You can communicate.
Okay. I'm in the mess hall. Where are you? You're meant to be here, surely.
I'm still in the station office, Mr. Davok, sir. Where did
Okay.
you go? How did you get there? Where are you?
It's just come out and go back in again.
All right. Reggie, concerned for Mr. Davok, steps outside the door and then steps back in again.
Okay, and you step back into the comms room.
I'm in the comms room, Mr. Davok, sir.
Oh,
For me.
weren't we meant to be fixing something with the comms? Is there something that we need to check in there while you're there,
I think
actually?
Gomez is still in there repairing it.
Oh, okay. Maybe see how she is.
Oh, Sonia's
yes.
not there. Sonia's in the station
no.
office.
Oh,
Oh, no.
You went in there to have a look to see if there was any connection between the replicator issue and the comms issue.
Mm.
Do you not remember?
Reggie's getting a bit sick of this. He steps back out into the corridor.
Yeah.
He steps back through the door again.
Okay. And
Looking
back
for that
into
station key.
Yeah, you're into the station office, of course. Where do you think you'd be?
Reggie goes over to the chief and basically grabs him by the collar. Take me to Mr. Davok now. And doing his best impression of a Terran, jabs a phaser in his back. No more messing around. Take us to the mess hall. You've had long enough.
And Chief Hubbard flicks his tail irritably and looks at the phaser. No need for that. I was going to take you anyway. Everybody's waiting.
Right. Shift it 3 legs.
3 legs.
The tail's a third.
Clearly not come across many Caitians. Yeah, he leads you out, and is everyone going?
Well, I'm already there.
You're already there, but
That's the problem.
Bosh, are you coming as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, you head out, and he leads you down the corridor, down 2 doors, turns left, goes through the door. I'm assuming you're following.
Yeah.
Very closely. I'm keeping an eye on him too.
Of course, you all end up in the mess hall.
No. Is it the same one I'm in?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good.
What would you expect?
Well, everything's never
only
the
one
same,
mess hall.
Stu. Well, there might be 1,000 mess halls, and this is just one that I landed in. Well, I'm glad we're back together again.
Before we go out.
Yeah.
Everybody's assembled.
What was your plan? Okay.
I was kind of hoping. So, how many? Can we do a head count?
You can, including the chief and Ensign Levy. You count 34 people.
35 is the max.
There are
we've
scientists among them. There are junior officers.
Okay.
A couple of security people.
So no one is doing anything with the ship right now. They're all here.
At the station, yes. Yes, they've all been summoned as instructed.
Okay. Can you I just want everyone stood in their departments. So security over there, scientists over there, and subdivide them up into small groups.
You separate them by their departments. Okay.
Actually, would it be better if there's 34? Would it be better to separate them into groups of 5 and 1 4?
You can do that if you want.
And then we should be able to see when there's an additional person. Possibly.
Oh,
Well,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
You can separate them into 6 groups of 5 and 1 of 4. That's not a problem.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, you do so. I mean, the departments kind of wasn't too far out from that anyway, so
Okay.
it just means moving people from one group to another, and
Cool. So what we
Here
need
and
to
there.
do is now get a bunch of chairs and something that plays some music.
Fall down. Yeah, whoever falls over first is.
Yeah. And see if anyone's left without a chair. We'll get 34. Yeah. Okay. Groups. I like this.
one of the
Holiday.
scientists chimes up. Are we, are we going to be doing it? We've got critical experiments that we need to get back to,
What experiments?
Oh, doing all sorts of experiments here, with the subspace anomalies in the area, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all kinds of I'm an ethnobotanist myself, and it's quite fascinating the way that the sort of the foliage on various forms of plants, particularly from Andoria, are sort of accelerated growth in the subspace region, you see.
It's an evil David Bellamy.
Fascinating.
Or, as we know him, David Bellamy. Yeah.
Yeah, just David.
The chief said you wanted to address us all. What do you want to say?
Are you questioning I don't know.
Is one of them? Is one of them Johnson? He's the one supposed to be eaten.
Actually, that's a fair point. Is one of them Johnson?
Give him just a
They
forward.
all
Give him
look
just a-
around each other,
One of them will be it.
confused.
Can we bring up an image from the distress thing? Show people.
Oh yeah, you can call it up. I mean, you've got it on your tricorder. You can use one of the computers to input it onto a bigger screen if you want.
Let's show them and ask them what they think of that, and ask them to actually. Mr. Davok, you demand that they tell us what they think about it.
Yeah, I'm like now. I'm wondering, should I have been paying attention to any changes in the video?
Okay. You access the computer, and the computer responds, "He is awake."
Who's awake?
Unknown query.
It's in there somewhere. I'm going to wring it out of his wires if I have to.
Message repeats, awaiting video input. And it's waiting for the transmission from your tricorder, Davok.
Oh, okay. Beep.
Okay. You transmit it and put it up on the view screen and show everyone the distress call.
How many is everyone at the moment?
How many? You
Yeah.
have 6 groups of 5 and 1 group of 4.
I've actually got 6 dice and one of showing 4. Just counting here, and I'll put it on the Discord later.
I like that you're keeping track because I'm not.
Yeah, there are 34 people.
Okay.
We do a up to the ship. Just do a life a scan. How many that, not including the away team, are on board this station?
Excluding the away team, your screen shows in communication with the Livingstone, so transmitting back and forth, yes, that there are indeed 34 people on board the station.
Okay.
35, like I say, 34.
When it changes straight away. And it always shows us exactly what we have got, even when it's not what we
It's not
expect.
changing. It is 35 people.
How many people are stood in front of us?
You have 5 groups of 6 and 1 group of 4.
Right. Can we find out where number 35 is?
There isn't 35.
Using-
There's only 34 people on the station, as you would expect.
I'm really tempted just to beam away and just be like, be done with this. Doesn't make sense. It's unsettling.
Nuke them from space.
Right.
The ethnobotanist challenge. Is there a bit of a problem?
Yes.
I mean, you show us this, quite frankly horrifying video, but, probably all to do with the comm system being down.
Where was the room that person was in the
In this facility, on this
Yeah.
station.
There's a bit of muttering amongst various people, and Chief Hubbard, in fact, says that would have been that Betruger chap. Yes, I think
sorry,
his,
Betruger.
Betruger, yes, I think his laboratory looked like that. I think.
Take us there. Take us to.
Yes, well,
Betruger's
Ensign
laboratory.
Levy can take you. That's or do you want me to take you? I mean, it's
I also want a scientist that understands the research stuff so they can explain it to us as we go.
Well, what sort of scientist do you want?
Has anyone doing similar work to?
Was anyone else on his team? Was he working alone?
Oh, Betruger. No, he was look a bit far away and a bit puzzled. No, he was on his own. I'm sure he was on his own. Yes. And what he was working, I can't remember what he was working on.
Okay. So let's you and Levy take us to the laboratory.
Okay then. And yeah, they'll head off out of the mess hall, and I'm assuming you're all following.
Yeah. I think we should stick together.
Yeah, definitely. No more going through doors, Mr. Davok. I don't want you going to mess halls.
Yeah. I mean, I can't trust what I'm seeing. That's weird.
Okay. He heads you down the corridor. It turns right, and you head past the station office, and then 3 more doors on the left-hand side of that. They gesture. This is his lab.
Cool. Let's go in.
Wait. I'll go first, Davok, sir.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Okay.
Keys the door.
Yeah, well, you walk up to the door, and of course they're automatic, and the door opens, and there in front of you is another Reggie, another Bosh, another Davok, and another Sonia, who all look up quite shocked at all of you, and then they open their mouths unnaturally wide as if in a massive scream, and the door slams shut so hard that you hear mechanisms break.
That was horrible. That was horrible.
I would like you all to give me either a control and command or presence and con roll.
Well, I'm
Difficulty 1, and I'm going to spend some threat to include Davok.
Oh, okay. Am I still excluded from these?
I'm
Just
spending threat
as a
to include
reminder,
you.
it's meets beats, isn't it?
Yes.
Meat
I'm
beats,
difficulty
yes.
3, so
Oh yes, of course. Reggie and Davok are on difficulty 3 with it.
Reggie's got a 9, and that's 13. And he got a Starfleet symbol too.
yay. I've got a 2 and a
Reggie is
3, but I don't have a focus that will help. Do we have any momentum?
I have a presence and con of 12, and I got a 12 and a 5, so I got 2 for my my 1.
Two successes. Do you know what, Davok? I'm going to count being a Vulcan, I'm going to be nice here, as a focus.
Okay, so then I get 4 successes.
You get 4 successes.
Okay.
You don't get any extra momentum on these, but none of you are more unnerved than you were before.
Well, that's a relief.
It is.
Well,
Which,
I'm supposed I'm not, really.
given how horrifying that was to see, is quite surprising. Maybe it's because of Hubbard and Levy's reaction, which is like they just roll their eyes at each other and just like chuckle a bit and says, "Oh, the doors in this place, they're falling apart."
What
Anyway,
was that?
You didn't
Well,
see
I
that?
don't know. You just walked up to a door. Didn't you want to see Betruger's laboratory?
Did
Go on,
you
open
not?
the door then? Go on, open the door.
Yeah, go on.
Well, no, this isn't
Watch
his
from
laboratory.
round the corner.
This
So
is
then
not
what
his
is this
laboratory.
room?
Oh, it's just I don't know, a storage cupboard. I don't know why you wanted to look in there, but you did.
So take us to the laboratory.
Laboratory.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
One of them as well.
Yeah, sure. It's this way.
Yeah.
And he leads you back up the corridor. You go past the station office on your left-hand side, and 2 doors past the station office on the left. And yeah, this is it. And he gestures to a door.
You open it this time.
Yeah, I'm not touching it this time. Go on, again.
Right behind you.
Who are you asking to open the door?
Levitt. Well, Levitt.
Levy.
Generalize.
Okay. Yeah, you ask Levy to open the door, and indeed she does. She pushes a button, and the door slides open.
Does it look like the lab in the video?
It's looks like a laboratory. It's quite
Okay.
it's quite low lit, and it's red. Lots of red lighting, lots of bits of equipment sort of humming and thrumming and flashing.
In we go.
Cautiously. No, I'll stick close to Mr. Davok.
The 4 of you go in, and the door shuts behind you, and that's going to be a good place for us to take a break.
No.
They were meant to come in with us. No.
So we will see everyone in a short while, 5 or 6 minutes, while we all have wheeze and top up our drinks. Or as I normally say, don't go anywhere. That's an order.
Going. Take it.
are back, watered and what have you. Fantastic. So, it's getting creepier, isn't it?
Oh, by the minute.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's never been creepy.
Oh. It's been just as creepy as it's always been.
We're going to be spending 6 months on a counsellor ship somewhere.
Excellent. Well, shall we just dive straight back into it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roll of initiative.
Entered this laboratory, and the door has closed behind you. Well, in fact, you know what? I can tell you there is, like I say, lots of flashing lights. It's lit with this strange sort of, almost like glowing ethereal sort of red light that is just on the edge of the visual spectrum, and you sense a bit further beyond, even for, obviously, with a load of non-humans whose visual spectrum might be a bit further. It just seems to extend that a little bit further beyond. Yeah, there is notably, whilst there appears to be sort of lots of equipment sort of flashing and humming away to itself, there is a body in the far end of the corner.
We should probably scan it.
Yes, medical officer.
Right, you are, sir. Well, not sir. With the same rank.
Okay.
That's fine.
So you're scanning. Give me a reason and medicine task. Oh, Bosh is not unnerved. So reason and medicine task difficulty 1.
A reason is a 10, and my medicine is a 5. I got a 5 and an 8.
A 5 and an 8. So you get 2 successes, so you get a momentum back. This brings your momentum to 5. Excellent. It reveals several obvious causes of death, including puncture wounds, loss of blood, heart attack, aneurysm, and electrocution. And your tricorder shows that medically the subject is very much deceased. They are still alive, and they are deceased. But it's hard to understand, like with all these injuries, how a person can still be alive. But it makes sense that they're deceased.
Yeah. Okay. At the times that they're still alive, is there anything that we can do for them? Can I try and stabilize
they're not alive.
them?
They've been deceased for some time, it would seem. Certainly too long to revive them, and you can't revive someone who's not deceased anyway.
No.
Is it the same person from the video call?
It certainly looks like this person, yes. Davok, with your skill in computers, because you have focus in computers, don't you?
I do.
There appears to be an active file in the console just next to where the body is slumped on the floor, unconscious.
That piques my interest. I'd like to go have a look at it, please.
Okay. I would like you then to give me... Oh, when I can find it. Either reason and science or reason and engineering. It would be a difficulty 1, but it's going to be a difficulty 3.
Okay. I'm going to borrow a momentum from Paul to help me with my
Use
rolls.
a momentum.
So my science is 4 and my reason is 10. So hopefully I get under 4.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled 2 5s. So that's 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And an 8, which is a third success.
3 successes, which is exactly what you need. And yes, there is indeed an active file. It appears to be a log. I would like players, please turn to StreamYards.
Yay! I love the video.
Love it.
I
Yeah,
will-
multimedia.
Just wait, Matt, to join.
Yes.
It is weird as hell, absolutely. You all right there, Matt?
I've lost.
Yeah.
Yes, I just lost the SteamYard link.
It's pinned.
It is pinned
is
in our
pinned.
Discord, in our players' Discord.
Yes.
A fancy one.
There we are. Fantastic. So, this is what you call up on the screen.
To anyone that finds this message, I am Dr. Betruger, except that is not my name.
Oh, somebody needs to mute themselves. I
Probably me.
suspect Ed, because that was you last time. Right, well, let's do that again.
I also suspect Ed.
Yeah.
To anyone that finds this message, I am Dr. Betruger, except that is not my name. One day, I woke up and my old name was gone. Because of what I did, I fear who I was will be gone forever. Approximately 2 weeks ago, I detected a spatial anomaly in the system that I thought might shed some insight into this sector's unusual subspace properties. In studying it, I bombarded the anomaly with exotic particles. I thought it closed. How wrong I was. I started to notice strange happenings on the station. Rumors, tall tales, and idle talk amongst the station's crew were slowly imposing themselves on factual reality. My name became Dr. Betruger simply because enough people believed that to be the case. I tried to tell them and get them to believe something was wrong, but I couldn't get through to them. It didn't help. My very thoughts, personality, and appearance changed to fit others' perceptions of me based on hearsay. I had no choice but to lock myself in my lab in the hopes that I would be able to find a solution. However, this turned out to be the wrong course of action. People began believing I was dead after not seeing me for days, and because they believed it, I did die. To this very moment, I am locked in a Schrödinger-like state between life and death. It is a hell I wish on no one. Do not try and save the people here. Their imperial training lets them ignore the weirdness around them, and as a result, things just get worse and worse as time goes on. Disturbing their self-imposed reality could very well rip this sector apart. So please, do not stay here. Destroy this station and make sure no one ever comes here again. Get out before it's too late.
There we are.
Wow.
Probably already too late.
Thanks again to Neil for doing that.
Well done, Neil.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yay.
Good luck.
So, Livingstone crew, what would you like to do?
Can we?
Run into a corner and scream.
I mean, there is that. Can we access... Mr. Davok, do you reckon you can access the ship-wide communications from this room?
I mean, I assume it's connected to the computer for the whole ship.
Station-wide or...
Station. Station-wide, sorry, yes.
No, just ship obviously is.
It's always been a ship, Stu.
Okay.
Live by the weird, you die by the weird.
Davok, to do it from this lab wouldn't be very easy, and would require a daring and engineering task. It would normally be difficulty 2. It's going to be difficulty 5 for you currently. No, difficulty 4, sorry.
Or with my focus and computers help.
Yeah, oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. I can try it.
And buy some additional momentum.
And maybe some assistance.
Yeah, get some assistance from Reggie.
Or Sonia. Is Sonia with us? She's got
Sonia is with
engineering.
you. Sonia can assist.
I'll roll 1 for Sonia.
Okay,
You can do
you are
something.
looking at 9-13 for Sonia.
Okay, I've got also 13, 4 for engineering, 2 successes, 3 successes.
And Sonia got an 8.
Yay!
4 successes.
4 successes, exactly what you need. You spent a momentum for that, didn't you? Yes.
Yes, you did.
Right. Yeah, you can access station-wide comms from this laboratory.
All crew of whatever the name of this station is.
Outpost
Outpost
Psi.
Psi. Outpost Psi. PSY, I'm guessing. Yep. I'd like to congratulate you and let you all be the first to know that Dr. Petruga is alive and well.
There's a rumbling from beneath your feet as the whole station starts to shake.
Oh, no. This is what he said not to do.
Yes, however, is he now back alive?
No.
Oh.
Well, yes, he's always been alive, just like he's always been deceased.
He's always been hideously dead.
Yeah, I wondered whether or not telling them that he was alive, and if they all believed it, then he would be alive.
Crack
maybe
forming
tell him-
down the outside wall.
But I think we need to beam up. Oh, we didn't fix anything.
A
Tell him
purple
that the
liquid from Bosh's point of view starts to come out of the crack in the wall. It's blue from Reggie's point of view, and it's green from Davok's point of view. In
the
other words,
wall's
you are
bleeding.
all seeing
Bleeding.
blood coming out of the walls. As
Beep
the
into the ship.
shaking intensifies. Yep,
I don't like
you use your
listening to Davok.
communicator.
Yeah. Can you get us out of here, please? How many of us? 4? Do we want to take Doctor here?
Yeah, we'll take him with us.
Yeah, this will go.
Okay, and yes, there are 5 shimmering, sparkling lights that form around you all as on the transporter pad on board the Livingstone, all 4 of you materialise.
Reggie tapped the wall just to make sure it's still the Livingstone.
Which 4 materialised?
Us 3 and Sonia.
Davok is there, Bosh, yeah, Reggie and Sonia.
Cool.
Okay. Well, we tried. Let's go report this to the captain.
Okay.
Yes.
Make your way to the bridge.
Sir,
Mr. Davok, you're back.
Mm. Yes. Alright. So things didn't go to plan, and I'll fill you in on everything that happened.
might I suggest, sir, that we invoke quarantine procedures again and detonate the station?
You're suggesting, okay. Any particular reason why I should start blowing up other people's property more than the fact that we already have spent the entire of last season blowing up everyone else's property?
It's tradition now.
It is, yeah. She's got teeth. We might as well let her chew on something.
Yes, there's a. I mean, that is a fair question. This is, if we could brief you quickly on the fact that there's stuff constantly changing, giving him a brief description of what Dr. Petruga suggested.
Who?
And
Steve.
Dave.
I guess he doesn't exist now.
But we remember him, don't we?
Are you able to use the ship sensors here to see if there's any? I'm assuming that you have briefed me on what you saw. If you brief Wraal on that, maybe ask Davok to scan the area to see whether this subspace anomaly is moving, is around, is identifiable.
Yeah, but
Is it just
that
around the
before we
station?
blow it up.
Is it spreading? Is the ship sat near it? Do we move out the way?
Okay. This is a difficulty 0 task. So obviously you don't need to get any successes, but it's a chance for you to gain some momentum. So it is a reason and science from Davok, assisted by the ship sensors and science.
Sensors.
Am I unnerved less now? I'm
Unnerved?
back on ship.
What's unnerved?
I feel fine.
Oh, we must all be all right then.
Of course you do.
I'm feeling a lot better now I'm on my own ship, Mr. Davok, sir.
Do I have a clear memory of what just happened?
Well, presumably. I don't know. I mean, you tell me.
I don't know. Right. Reason and science. Is this assisted by my astrophysics figure?
Oh, yes. You can use your astrophysics. Sensors and science is in 11, by the way.
Fantastic. I got 3 successes then. So I got a 4 and a 5.
Oh, the ship got a 4.
Okay. Well, you are at maximum momentum now with 6 points of momentum. Yeah, it's an unusual region of space with some unique subspace properties. It require a proper science vessel to fully understand it, you think. Whether it was worth the diversion away from your course back to the Bajoran wormhole, who can say?
Davok, is there any way you can download any of Dr. Variable's logs from their station to ours so we can maybe investigate this further, or at least know if this happens again?
Oh, what did we just do?
Where's the
We've
station?
been flying around.
Station off my bow.
Is it on?
No, it's an area of interesting subspace anomalies that you wanted to look at.
My brain hurts.
Where's this? I did. Okay, put it in the, for the notice.
Let's go.
I did not blow up that station.
What station?
We have exactly the same number of quantum torpedoes as we had this morning.
Yes.
Do we?
Yes, you have 135 torpedoes. You've always had 136 torpedoes. No, I'm joking.
Back off, back off, back off.
Yeah, let's put a mark here. Never come here again. Tell Starfleet never come here, and let's just go.
Yeah, actually, I think we can probably launch a warning, a sort of warning navigation buoy that will bob and transmit some sort of warning in this location.
You'll be telling me next it's not
Absolutely
even
can.
Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
Yeah.
Always been Tuesday. What about that?
We always
All day.
stream on a Thursday.
Ever since yesterday when it was Saturday.
I don't know anymore.
So yes,
Yeah.
you can very easily drop a warning beacon. Do you want it disguised as an Imperial one?
Yes, let's have it very much an imperial. Yeah, it needs to be look local.
Okay. And what are you going to warn people about?
Beware, subspace swirly thing anomaly.
At least roll for that one.
Hang on. I have it here. We're going to nullify, that's a good one, the primary Verteron field dampener. We're going to nullify the primary Verteron field dampener. Yes.
Yep. Tell them to beware of that, and that any ships passing through this area need to nullify
They
the.
must first do that in order to pass through safely. Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Sonia.
Excellent. Right. What now?
Over to you, Captain. What were we doing? We were on a mission, weren't we?
I think that we probably need to send the entire away team. Bosh, check the entire away team for any more insanity than they've already got. Maybe tell Reggie to go on the holodeck for a bit and shoot stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would like psychiatric evaluations of the away team by tea time.
Aye, sir.
In the meantime, Helm, resume course for Bajor. Best speed, but not maximum. I don't want to make it look like we're rushing.
Okay. And indeed, yes, you set off to warp back en route back to the Bajoran wormhole. Bosh, over time, yes, you do your psych evaluations on the away team, and everyone comes out normal, as you would expect. Everyone's fine. Why wouldn't they be?
Might I suggest like eval on all players as well?
Yeah.
That's probably more personal.
I think a little stronger than tea.
Okay, what else would you like to do with your team? Because it's going to take a little while, and I'm happy just to kind of jump cut. Unless there is anything else you'd like to do. For example, you have an unconscious female Jem'Hadar on board.
Yes.
Oh, did we nick the scientist from the station that wasn't the station? Did he come along as well?
No.
What
Oh,
scientist?
he's on
Right.
transport. didn't
What scientist? What station?
Oh, who knows?
Right. Someone go and wake up first. I'm staying on the bridge and locking all the doors.
Well, that would presumably be Bosh waking up first because she was sedated.
Yes.
Suffering from a Vulcan neck pinch.
Yes.
I might need to stay out of the room in that case. Just so until things calm down.
Yeah. So wake up first.
Is first restrained, first of all.
Hell yeah.
And this is the person playing first. Is even scared about it.
Oh, I know how pissed she is. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's why I'm not coming in the room.
So yeah, wake her up. Before you try and sit up, in fact, actually, what I'll probably do is just Wake her up from the neck upwards.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can basically institute a temporary paralysis.
Yeah. Now, first, I'm not liking where this is going. Two sides of the same conversation. I'm clearly going crazy after this last game. I don't know what's going on.
Well, maybe the captain might want to send someone else to talk to. First.
Might be a good idea.
That might be. Yeah. Well, we do have some nurses on board, don't we? As well, some additional.
Well, I actually think the captain should probably hold a conversation. Given First is going to probably go a bit mental about the fact that she was sedated trying to save him.
That's true. Go. Yes, I'll have to go and wake her up. Actually, Bosh, you're coming with me.
On Bosh's advice.
Wake her up from the neck down.
Yeah.
Neck up. From the neck down, he's dead. Destroy the brain. She's a zombie.
That's gonna. I've already got enough paperwork to fill in on this one when we get back. This is gonna make log entries for months. Reggie, you're coming too. Stand there. Have you still got that disruptor rifle you pinched? Yeah, I have, sir. Got a vicious trait, sir, and it's deadly. Right. Bosh, if you awaken first. From the neck up. With your
done.
Yeah. Excellent. First, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry we had to incapacitate you, but I'd like to know why it was that you attacked our chief engineer. And you can be quite candid with me. I am the only friend in this part of the universe you've got left.
You mean the woman that was clearly lying to you?
The engineer who you accused of that, yes. What was she like?
Might I ask, having gone through your kind of information on your alternative universe, how often do your engineers keep phasers in engineering?
Weapons are stored in secure lockers throughout the ship.
Except that she had one in a drawer.
In secure lockers, yes.
No. She had one in the drawer in her workstation, which she pulled on you. Well, technically pulled on me, but...
was suspiciously handy, wasn't it? Thinks to self.
The items that you found that were causing you issues were found to be in engineering. She then denied it. And I would presume, having no idea on the time between then and now, were they surprisingly fixed? And that they didn't actually appear? Because who was it that who was it that looked into it? Was it her?
Suspiciously, I think it was.
So do you want to ask me again why I did what I did?
I'll gesture to Bosh and just say, wake her up some more.
She's still restrained, but she is now, like you can see her hands flexing.
I tell you, I'm close enough here that should you decide to grab my throat, she's more than capable of.
These restraints would not hold me.
No, I didn't think so.
I've pledged myself to this crew. If you do not wish this, I will leave.
No, that's fine. First, your loyalty, your enthusiasm for joining us, whilst not exactly overt, is no doubt currently. We were looking for some engineering information that was missing. Gomez said that it wasn't, or that it was missing. And then you said that she was lying about that. Do you know where she might have put that? Or is she covering up the fact that it's there?
I'm just going to interject to remind you of what it was. There were some areas on the ship schematics that Davok found that were areas that basically were void areas. And there were 2 of these void areas that seemed a bit odd. And when you asked Sonia about them, she did an investigation. She came back to you and said it was an error with the blueprints and it had now been corrected, and those voids had then gone.
I would suggest those voids storing whatever they're storing are still there.
Exactly. Do you remember? Do you remember where those might have been? Could we look into where those areas were without the engineer noticing that we had?
I didn't really have a full look at those plans. Surely Mr. Davok should be able to look at them.
Remember where they were?
Yeah, I can stick my head around the door and go, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you have communicators.
Yes,
Yes, I'll be on
I'll
that.
communicate to Davok and say, and relay this and say, Davok, if you can find where the mysterious areas were in the schematics, or should be, or shouldn't be, perhaps we can go and investigate that ourselves, and maybe first would like to accompany us.
I can just surely look at my past search results and bring that up.
If something's being hidden that's on this ship or isn't on this ship, it'll be good to see. And then,
one of the voids was just to the rear of engineering. It would appear to have been behind a bulkhead to the rear of engineering. The other one was in the nose cone, for want of a better term.
I would suggest that we go to the nose cone.
Yes, I was going to say the nose cone is a more discreet area to investigate first, away from engineering, just for the moment. Just for the
To
moment.
the nose cone!
To the nose cone.
Captain, who did you leave in Con on the bridge?
I believe it was our
undoubtedly.
3-armed Idosian is usually at the con when I'm not flying.
Okay. You receive a message from Grace Wilson saying that the now approaching the Bajoran system.
Very well. Drop out of warp and proceed at impulse just for the moment, please. And also, of course, keep eyes open on sensors for any nearby traffic. I'll tell you what the plan is for that afterwards. Right, to the nose cone.
To the nose cone.
You head to the nose cone, which traditionally would contain basically the deflector, main deflector control area.
Do we find teeth and an eye?
No, they're on the outside.
No, but scratched on the outside it says Trill Vulcan. No, you go through a hatch. Who's going first? It's quite a smallish hatch. Like basically, you've got to crawl through a Jeffries tube to get into the area.
First or Reggie.
So lead on first, and Wraal will follow with Reggie behind. Wraal can investigate things to do with ships and flying machines using a certain combination, a more advantageous combination of skills. So he's going to keep his eyes and ears open via that.
Okay. So first you crawl through this Jeffries tube and release a hatch, the other end of it, and it opens into a wide area, probably about, I would say, about half the size of the bridge. There are 4 seats on it and a control panel. Wraal, you follow behind. This looks really like, not a specific design that you're familiar with, but it looks like a shuttle cockpit.
Yeah. Can I? Yes. Can I? Investigate. Basically, drawing from what I can see and figure out what exactly this is used for, using my flight controller ability.
You go to activate the computer system. It is locked out.
Oh.
There is no power to any of the consoles, but it looks exactly like you'd see a kind of a small runabout.
Is it
shuttle?
Does it look a little bit like some sort of like the Defiance version of a battle bridge, like a more compact version of the bridge we have?
That's as good a theory as any.
Is it a secondary command position? Okay, can we get any power to any of these consoles to actually see what it is? Well, actually, I'll just ask the computer. Computer, what room is this?
You receive no response.
No computer.
There doesn't appear to be power. There's basic emergency lighting, but that's all. And life support, obviously. But life support's probably coming from the rest of the ship.
Right, we've opened the door, so let's flow through. Okay, can we try and get some power to these systems, or at least just power up the room and see what it is?
No. All the consoles are completely dead. You're tapping away, but it's just completely non-responsive.
Okay. Is there... Okay. If we have any tricord, is it worth scanning with a tricord to see if there's any other exits from the room aside from standard or any particular Jeffrey's tube entrance and exits, or if we come in and out the only way?
You scan with a tricord. The only exit showing is the one you came in by.
Okay. Right.
You get a message on your comm system from Grace Wilson. There are Imperial patrols around this area.
Oh, no.
Oh, of course there are. Very well.
Davok, obviously, you're very aware of this, and you're feeling the pressure. You're managing to evade them so far, but the longer you hang around here, the more dangerous it's becoming.
Get in touch, you Captain.
Okay, my gut feeling is to seal off this room, post security outside of it, and continue where we're going until we find out what on earth it is and why it's missing.
Absolutely can. And as Reggie is with you, do you want to leave Reggie?
Well, Reggie will say, but I'll advise Reggie to pick some of his best persons and have a security detail guarding this. No one goes in or out without my specific permission.
Okay, you can do so. While all that's been happening, Davok, I think it's pretty reasonable that you would be making calculations for the return journey.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? I don't want to play your character for you, but
yeah, I guess
if you want to have been doing something different, you can be.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Okay. In order to make those calculations, I am going to need from you a reason and science roll, difficulty 2.
Okay.
I'll remind you, you have maximum momentum.
You help yourself.
Yes, take a momentum.
You take a momentum.
Ooh. Well, I've got a 3 and an 18 and a 10. And I needed to get under 40. So 2 successes.
Okay, so you get your 2 successes. You believe to the best of your ability that you have calculated the correct ratio to speed for this size of vessel. I mean, it's involving a little bit of guesswork.
We've seen
probably
that before with
uncomfortable.
Vulcan. It worked fine. Well, we return to the bridge, and I take my seat as Wraal, pretend spots. Mr. Davok, do you have the coordinates we believe we require to use the wormhole to get back to our own universe?
I think so.
Okay, can you transfer those to the helm, please?
Yes.
And I nod to the helm officer and say, "Helm, I'll take this one. I'm the captain."
I thought you might. Okay, it's not too far away. You think you can evade these patrols. In fact, one of the ships leading the patrols might interest you. Is the USS Enterprise NCC 17? Sorry, ICC. The ISS Enterprise. Get this right. NCC 1701D, the Dreadnought class with the 3 nacelles and the massive disruptor cannon through its saucer. You probably don't want to get spotted by it. If you're going to go, now is the time.
Right, okay, I'm going to plot an evasive course for the wormhole, avoiding patrols, if I may.
Okay, you certainly can. And yeah, you don't need to make a roll for that because basically the patrol's just gone past. So you go now, you're fine. And you get to the wormhole. Now comes the difficult part. Are you going to fly straight into the wormhole?
Well, we're going to look at get the data that Davok has given us, put it into the navigation helm computer, and calculate our speed, angle, and trajectory based on that.
Excellent. Well, you've got the calculations there from Davok in front of you. It's a matter of following them. It is incredibly precise flying that is required. You're probably the best person for the job, I would say. I am going to need a daring and con roll, assisted by the ship, with engineering and con, which is a total of... Sorry, engines and con, which is a total of 13. This is a difficulty 4 task.
Okay, right.
It's
so
that
we've
precise.
We assist with moral support. You got this, Captain.
I've got 2 dice. Let's go with burn a momentum and throw in another dice. That gives me 3 dice. The ship is adding the 4th dice. Davok, that'll be for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to add, I'm down to 4 momentum currently.
You are, yes.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 of those momentum to add a further dice. So I'll be rolling 4 and Davok's rolling 1 for the ship.
Okay, let's have the ships first then.
Oh, right, under 13, yeah?
Under a 13.
I got an 18. Can I spend a hero point to reroll? Is that a thing in this game? Do I have that option?
Unfortunately not.
No.
Okay. Worth a try. Let me just check my skills.
Interesting question from Chris, by the way, as to whether Davok's calculations count as an assist. No, they don't, because they were a separate task.
They've basically just they've made it a difficulty 4 from a difficulty.
Well, without those calculations, it would simply, you'd have been guessing.
Yeah, you fly into it and see what happens.
A Googleplex of options. Right, difficulty 4. You've got 4 dice.
Here we go.
Don't you have a focus you can use?
Indeed, I do. I've rolled a Starfleet symbol.
Yes.
Ooh.
An 11. a 10, and a 2. And I have a focus in helm operations.
Yeah.
My con is 4, so the 2 counts as 2 successes. The Starfleet symbol counts as 2 successes. The 11 is a success, and the 10 is a success.
So you get 2
Yay.
momentum back. As you head into the wormhole, it is a rocky, shaky ride, and you wonder at times
All
if
hands brace!
the ship is in fact going to make it. You exit the wormhole, and you sort of almost you almost do kind of drift out as you exit sideways, basically.
Yes.
And on fire.
And yeah, your inertia sort of carries you along for a bit, unless you want to use thrusters to stop.
I will just a little bit of just a bit of thrusters, just ease it down, everyone.
Okay.
Everyone okay? All stations report.
There is a space station nearby. Just so you're aware, that's like big and bold on the sensors. It is of a Cardassian design.
Well, that's good.
Sensors, please. See if you can identify any Federation time and locator beacon.
Okay, just as you're about to do that, Davok, your sensor panel lights up with proximity alert and a neutrino burst as on the view screen in front of you, a very large, very black starship decloaks before you. Now, this is an interesting ship because it almost looks like a Starfleet design. And that's where we're going to end it for this session.
Oh,
Oh man,
don't even know if we made it back.
we're one day from retirement.
I have a theory on whether we made it back.
No.
Do you? I'm intrigued to hear your theory.
Well, we were in the Bajoran side, going through the wormhole. If we hadn't got back, we'd be coming out on the Delta Quadrant side. But the fact that we came out onto our side meant that there's some sort of shenanigans that likely means that we're back. That's my
That makes
thoughts, at
sense to
least.
you. My head's still mashed
no, I
straight.
get the logic of that.
Has my hair colour changed since you've left that
Face
station?
is going to.
Weren't you blonde when we started this, Amy?
I think that's an insensitive thing to say of a Delton.
She looks great for an Orion.
Yeah. Well, there we go. The Halloween special is concluded. That was a lot of fun
Very
to
good.
GM, I've got to say. And
Yeah.
credit to ELH, who wrote it. It's an unofficial add-on, and for anyone out there who wants to run it themselves or have a look at kind of all the stuff that you've missed as well, it is called PSI PSI Shift. Yeah, by ELH. It's out there on the interweb. It's a lot of fun to run. So well done, everyone. You survived.
Yay.
Just about.
Well done, team. Well done, crew.
And will it be rums around?
Well, there might be some rum in the tea afterwards, I
Yeah.
think, just to calm the nerves.
So rum do, indeed. Woo. So, Bosh thinks we're back, or Matt, rather, thinks we're back.
But yeah.
What does everyone else think?
I mean, we never left, did we?
That's why I want you to get a handle on what time it is with the Federation timestamp beacons. Figure out when we are as much as where we are.
So could you like sabotage those and just mess up everyone's sense of time?
Oh, I don't know.
No, there are redundancies upon redundancies upon redundancies for that. You never say never, but
you'd probably get it you'd be in a position where you'd be getting it from 2 beacons, so they'd both marry up to give you that timestamp.
More like 200.
Okay.
Each feeding off each other. I mean, yes, you could do it, but it would require a massive team of people all working in synchronous.
Almost like a massive conspiracy from some sort of non-governmental organisation.
Why would you want to do it?
How could that happen?
Why not?
So basically, Davok wants to plot that just so everyone gets up an hour later for their shift in the morning.
Oh, it's clearly on my mind.
Delta shift.
Getting rid of daylight savings in the Federation.
There is no daylight anymore.
Full time to Zulu.
Excellent. Well, we don't have long to wait to see where you are now, do we?
No.
Because we're back
next
this coming
week.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Back on schedule, we hope. Unless something happens and we don't. In which case we'll be back when we're back. But yeah, that is the plan. So everyone watching, make sure you are there for that. Thanks again to Neil for doing those videos for us. That was it was a lot of fun editing those as well.
That really made it. That was really good.
Yeah, that was definitely brilliant. Right, on that bombshell.
Yeah.
You look
drained.
Absolutely. I'm unnerved, Stu. I'm unnerved too. I'm made up thing in this universe, but I'm still it.
I'm a wreck.
Oh well, it's still it's not Halloween anymore. We've done it now.
No,
Yeah.
but it's spooky.
Look, at least there weren't any. At least there weren't any November the 5th bonfire fireworks where we blew up the station. At least it just vanished. We can't be held to blame for that.
Yeah, couldn't have handled that. Right, on that bombshell, we will see you next time. And oh yes, now we have an announcement. Well, but not an announcement. A sort of announcement. We have a teaser. You definitely do not want to miss next time, because not only are we going to find out if the crew are back where they need to be, we're not only going to be finding out what the hell that is that just decloaked in front of them, but we have another really big thing happening next time that we can't say what it is.
Huge.
Huge. Massive.
Yeah.
So don't miss that. I can't wait. So excited.
Yeah.
So excited. I'm also terrible at keeping secrets, but I'll be doing my best.
Right, let's end it before you blurt it out. Come on, let's go.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, live long and prosper, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.